From the Black Falcon blaming Green for bringing the curse of KD to the Warriors, to Green shading him right back after he missed a game-winning shot. Here's the Draymond Green and Harrison Barnes beef finally explained. And I have to start with the blame game that began after Kevin Durant came to the Warriors. Because all this seems a little childish, doesn't it? Don't know if you guys remember, but Barnes and Green used to be pretty tight. They joined the Warriors in the same draft class, and everything was going pretty well. But then, their relationship turned pretty sour after Barnes left the Warriors. Just to give you a bit of context, when the Warriors decided to bring in Durant, they had to send the Black Falcon to the Dallas Mavericks just to make room for Kevin. And this didn't sit well at all with the now Sacramento Kings star. Plus, in 2022, Green even admitted that the plan to bring Kevin to the Warriors was already in motion, 1 year before he eventually made the move. It means that the Golden State already knew who they're gonna let go in order to bring the new man. Draymond also revealed that he took a slight pay cut with the team just to preserve some cap space for the KD signing. Who could have seen this one coming, right? So now we know why Barnes thinks Dre played a role in his exit. And the Warriors star thinks that Barnes still doesn't like him for everything that happened after the KD signing, even claiming that he had no say whatsoever in that move. But Harrison wasn't having any of it. He still pretty much blames Green for everything. Speaking of this famous trade, I think the Warriors made the right call. Otherwise, Barnes would have been stuck at the bench. Yeah, what else do you think would have happened? I mean, you can't bench a player like KD. Why else would you give him such a lucrative deal to join your squad? This is something that Harrison just wasn't willing to understand. Of course, no one likes being traded to another team because this means that you aren't good enough. Every player wants to start and play all the games. So one thing was crystal clear. The 30-year-old would have had to come off the bench if he'd stayed with the Warriors. Green also revealed that Harrison wasn't willing to accept a bench role on the team, and that's why he was let go. It's as simple as that. Yeah, he was a good player for the team, but Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. There's no debate when it comes to him. Even after knowing all this, he still blamed Draymond for everything. But of course, Harrison isn't the only one Dre's had beef with, because he also had a bit of a rough patch with Durant in 2018. Yes, the same Durant whose signing he allegedly supported in 2016. So get this, the Warriors were playing the Clippers when they suffered an overtime loss. They were presented with a golden opportunity to win at the final buzzer. With that, let me ask you one thing. In this kind of situation, who'd you prefer to take the final shot? Dre or KD? Obviously KD, right? But Draymond had other things on his mind. Kevin was clapping furiously for the ball, but Green went for it and missed. Durant stormed off the court and the two had a fiery argument on the bench as well. Draymond felt super disrespected after all this, and I'm not surprised that he felt this way. It showed that his team didn't trust him at all. To make matters worse, the Warriors went ahead and suspended Dre for 1 game, and I can't imagine what that must have felt like. With that, let's go back to his beef with Barnes, because that's the most interesting one. There's one thing that really broke Dre's heart though, the fact that Harrison didn't invite Green to his wedding. And let me tell you, Draymond's really upset about it. Even after his departure from Golden State, the Iowa native was on good terms with his former teammates. He invited Curry, Klay Thompson, and some other guys from the team, but one big name was missing from that wedding, and it was Draymond Green. Like, come on, who does that? They spent some quality time together as teammates, so he should have at least invited him to the wedding. But wait, Draymond also got married in 2022. Did he invite Barnes to his wedding? Yeah, you guessed it right. He didn't. I think this just ends this debate right here. Green didn't invite Barnes and he did the same to him. So I guess it is what it is now. But honestly, I really feel for Green. But then again, some fans have a completely opposite view of this whole situation, since they started trolling the athlete for going on the record about Barnes. See, after Green didn't receive an invitation to Barnes' wedding, he claimed that to this day, the athlete just doesn't like him for the whole KD situation, which is also why Green thinks he wasn't invited to the wedding. When ESPN shared a post on Instagram, quoting what Green said, fans came running to the comments section saying things like, "Clowns aren't invited to weddings." Another one said, "It's not a kid's party, they don't need a clown." Honestly, I think this is taking it a bit too far. The man's just sharing how he feels. His comments also sounded like he isn't happy about the misunderstanding, but the fans were having none of it. That's not where it ends though. 2016 NBA champ and analyst Richard Jefferson also jumped in with his own comments, saying, "Even I got an invite," to poke fun at the whole situation. But while all of this happened only recently, the cracks in the relationship between Green and Barnes started to show way back in 2016 to be exact. That was when the Warriors lost to the Cavaliers in the NBA Finals after blowing a 3-1 lead in the series, losing the last 3 games consecutively. I mean, they practically presented the title on a silver platter for LeBron James and company. And the man who played a big part in this epic collapse, it was Harrison Barnes. So what happened? Let me break it down. He struggled badly in games 5, 6, and 7, shooting 5 of 32 from the field and 3 of 15 from beyond the arc. Now, those are some crazy stats. I honestly think he still has nightmares about those 3 games. But Game 6 was where things really went downhill, and the athlete went scoreless after missing all 8 of his field goal attempts. Poor Barnes. But this was just the beginning of the end. He had lost the confidence of his teammates, most importantly Draymond Green, and only a month later, the Warriors signed KD via free agency. Now, Harrison did get a pretty good deal, signing a 4-year contract with the Mavericks worth a staggering $94 million, but he still was upset about leaving the Golden State. Who wouldn't be? But things may start to cool down between Green and Barnes after all, especially after what went down in Game 7, when Dre Magic and Harrison were caught having a good moment after the game. Can you believe it? After the Warriors thrashed the Kings to win that game 100-120. The two shook hands after the final buzzer, but that's not it. After the handshake, the two even hugged. No, I'm not kidding, it happened. But that's not where it ends. Green and Barnes were then caught having a super long conversation, with Green doing most of the talking and what I wouldn't give to know what he was saying. But still, it was good to see the two of them interact without wanting to snap each other's necks off. It's still too early to say anything, but it looks like Harrison has now accepted the fact that Dre wasn't involved in KD's signing. It was the team's decision. But then again, Green isn't always the nice guy. Remember the time he shaded Barnes for missing a potential game-winning shot? It was the final few seconds of the Kings vs. Warriors game when Harrison missed his shot from 28 feet, which would have put a serious dent in Golden State's 9-3 home run. Draymond was a happy man. Not entirely because the Warriors won that game, but mostly because the Kings player missed his shot. Dre said Harrison was ready to call us every B word if he made that shot, even saying that it was great to see him miss it. And well, it's true. Barnes would have gone absolutely crazy on his old teammates if things had gone the other way, but luckily for the Warriors, he just missed the shot. Although this wasn't the first time the Kings found themselves in a position like that, where things are really down to the wire. But the interesting thing is that the Warriors wanted Harrison to take that final shot, because deep down, they knew he was going to miss. That's why when the 2022-23 Clutch Player of the Year, De'Aaron Fox, carried the ball halfway to the court, Draymond and Curry double-teamed him, forcing him to pass the ball to the Black Falcon who took the shot, but it just didn't work out, with the ball just clanking off the rim. Dre later explained that they never wanted Fox to take that shot, but they were more than happy for Barnes to take it. Now, that's some serious planning. So there you have it. From Draymond shading Barnes for missing a game-winning shot, to Harrison blaming Dre for bringing KD to the Warriors. This was Draymond Green and Harrison Barnes' beef finally explained.